Okay, now that we've got all of our settings done for our project, our campaign, we can go to our campaign and highlight it. And, we've been using in this highlighted format the edit button to go in and edit the details. There's another set of options we can use by right-clicking on the campaign itself. For instance, we can turn its status to active or inactive. You notice it's active right now. We could also just do it by clicking on here. We can change the priority, which means, if you have a number of campaigns in here, the default is plus, but if we set it on double plus, then it's going to give it some priority over the other campaigns. We have a master on-off switch here. Some people get confused on this. This turns GSA on and off. And when you turn it on and off, any campaigns that say active are going to start running, and any campaigns that say inactive are going to be turned off, right? And there's a number of reasons for that. You're going to have a whole library of campaigns in here, and you're not going to necessarily want to run them all at once. Depending on how many you have, it may not be wise to run them all at once. I find that running about 15 campaigns at a time is pretty efficient level. If you've got 45 in here, then you might want to run them, in sequence. Run them 15 at a time, or get another license for GSA and set up another copy. But you can turn them off on the fly as they're running, and just turn it to inactive and make adjustments too. Then you can, while all the campaigns are running, we just turn this one inactive, suppose. We can go in here and edit the campaign and make whatever adjustments we want to make, and then start it up again, right? So that's how GSA works. You've got active and inactive here, and you've got a master start and stop button. In addition, in here, you've got this modify project button. Has a lot of key features. For instance, you can rename a project. You can duplicate a project. For instance, right now, we just did the Facebook. Let's say we have a Twitter for the same client. Whoops, misspelled that. Let me fix that. Okay, so now all we have to do, if it's for the same client, same niche, everything, go in here and just edit the Facebook URL to the Twitter URL. All right, the keywords are all good. Anchor text, content, everything, right? Just change it to active, and we've got a second campaign running. And we could right-click on this and duplicate it again and do a Google Plus for the same client. And we could do a YouTube or whatever else they have, right? With just one click instantly. Now, when you do this, they're all running the same keywords and they're all running the same content, which is fine for a while. But remember, you want to expand your campaign. So after a short while, one way to expand them would also be to go in here and it just takes a few minutes to get content from Wicked Article Creator. Just generate new content, go down here to Tools, Autofill, put the information in, and update the content that you're submitting, the articles and other content that you're submitting for each one separately would be a great idea. And over time, periodically, depending on how many links you're running and your strategy, you want to continue replacing, the content. But with the tools we've given you, it's so easy. It really just takes minutes. So theoretically, we could have had all of the social media for the client running here just a couple minutes after the first one is done. So that's a nice feature. And if we need to set up a totally new campaign for a totally new client, you can still right-click and go duplicate, right? Modify project, duplicate. Because it still has all the settings in here. But you just go in here now and update now the keywords and the anchor text and the URL for the new client. Update his, the content for his niche. And then, as long as the search engines are the same, you can adjust those if you need to. But all the general settings would, be the same most likely for the next campaign. So it'll still save you a lot of time. to do it by using duplicate. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. You can delete them in here too, so we don't need that right now. And in here too, you can also back up the projects, right? Which I encourage you to do right away so you don't lose your settings. You can go back up all projects and just save it, right? Name it whatever you want. You know, save it in a place where if everything fails, you're still going to be able to retrieve it, and you'll be able to restore this, you know, these settings within seconds. And in fact, in options, there's also a backup. You can back up all those option settings we put up, you know, just by clicking this, save it in a safe place. There's a restore button in each place, and you can have the options restored for not only projects but for all of GSA just in seconds. It just takes a second. If you look inside here too, there's also other useful tools. You can rename a project or merge two projects together if you wish. In here too, we also have a diagram chart. You might want to use this for clients, but it'll show a pie chart of all the different types of properties that have been created. You can set a date range here, right? So it's kind of cool. You could do a screenshot of that if you want, or print it out, save it. Also in here, we have show URL, so it'll make a list if your client wants a list of links, or you do for some reason, of what you've submitted successfully or verified. You can get those here. You can also import URLs into the project itself by from a file, a clipboard, or from some site lists. So, you know, this is if you have some kind of scraper or other tool, then you can download a list of links of sites that you've gotten off the internet for different purposes, or backlinks from some other site, and you can import them in here, and it'll essentially drop all the settings you've given this project, and it'll submit to that list till it's finished. You can go in here to show URLs, and it'll show left target URLs, what's left in the list that it's working on there. So those are some important settings for you here in the project area. We're going to go over some settings that are in the toolbox next in the next video, and then we're going to actually fire up GSA and show it to you running, so we can give an idea what to look for as it's running and what to expect. So we'll see you in the next video.